all we have done with the coding right now, and we have to see an output. So let us first start with the MongoDB running, and then we'll see the output. MongoDB. Then okay, and then come to the folder. So first thing that you have to type npm space run space build, then later npm space start to see that output. Let us wait. It would be compiling, and if there is any error, it will show. If there is no error, then it will be ready for giving an output. So something went wrong, saying that root is not defined in index.js file. Let us just check it out. as it is anyway failed in converting to production, so we can remove that build folder. Mm, the error is src index. Then so it's done successfully. just is something we have given, but we did not use. There is not any errors, and we can now the build folder is ready to deploy. You may serve, and now you can just type npm space. I mean, we are unable to make it now itself to deploy. So of course we not require also. We just wants to see at first a local output, I mean local system output. I will show this build folder also. Let us first see that output. Errors. Where is that error? Module not found. What is that module not found? Cannot find module. Mo model book dot cannot find models. Hmm, okay, let us do one thing. We thought that it is created show db. Yes, and there is no. What is the database name? In the routes, where is the routes books? In the models, book.js, and Mernecrud app. Use Mernecrud app and then enter. And then actually what it is saying that even it's not able to connect. Okay, now cannot find model, sorry, cannot find module in models book.js, so it is unable to find out that model. Now let us same error, huh? Module not found, and it's saying that in the Mernecrud app routes book.js we have, is it not linking up from book.js? You are coming outside and entering into the models, and then in app.js. mm, Let us see one. Okay, it is entering into the require stack. In bin folder, we have, of course, it's a point of just environment checking. Let us just check it out. Require debug and HTTP process environment, which is 3000, and then saying it is a port, and then we're creating a server. After that, listen, normalize port. We are sending some value and checking that on error. System call if then after that, in app.js file, we have started earlier. It is successfully working now. Let us just check it out. Express, we have path and Morgan body parser. When it comes to Mongoose connect with the require. If it is having error in the very beginning itself, it won't give an output properly. So then routes, you have given a book and require equals to the require of you are entering into the routes and book. Where is that express meaning? Var app and that equals to, we did not even initiate that express, and then let us, okay, already we have initiated now. Okay, let us do one thing. Let us make this route URL in the very beginning here itself. So we have started express and then logger body information, sorry, JSON, and which is building error handling, and we are exporting the total. Then in the routes folder, we created a book, and of course first we have written this one and it is working successfully. Additionally, Let us do one thing. Let us go to the service export default function. Function export function and production environment. It's not required to check any configuration here. Then have we installed that mongoose? Then package.json. It's done. So let us do one thing. Go to the file which is here, mongoose, and we require a module and we are loading and connecting and mongodb dot localhost, that app name what we have, and promise library with the required bluebird module and saying that it's successfully connected, but now it is saying that module not found. Next go to the book.js which is in model, require mongoose, creating a book schema which require all things with a new operator mongoose dot schema, and these are all we require, which exporting the name. Let us do one thing. In the db dot create collection book, and so there is a collection name, and then go to the routes with the book.js file, and this is what we have connected. Okay, it is. Let us just refer here. Express router and mongoose with book, and here get all books. This is common. Already we have done the functionality and everything that should be exported at last. Router which is exporting. So now let us do one thing. As we have done something change here, let us just reconstruct the build. when you want to update, sorry, when you have done some updations, it's better sometimes to restart the command prompt, then it will be having updates in this application and will take that updates. So now, okay, npm space run space build. Let us wait now. Okay, now let us npm space start. It is only the URL that which is missed in connecting to the routes, sorry, in connecting to the model. Okay, now it is working successfully, and let us now open localhost 3000. We have just a basic CSS and something. When you click on add new book, it is redirected to the create and showing some input elements. So let us write something, and then these are the form input elements. When you click on submit button, these from this it has to enter into the given collection. Okay, and it is now concept we say taking a request from the body parser. So then let us see that is added. As it is added in the database and immediately retrieving into the show or sorry into the app right now in the let us show the app.js file. We have listed out all the things, and here we have even again add new book. At the same time, when you mouse over on this, if you see down, we are redirecting to the show and with an object ID which is given, right, to see a particular book details. Okay, let us click on it. It just redirected to the particular page and given, okay, here it is not displaying the values. labels are displaying, but the values are not displaying. Okay, why it is not displaying? Let us where you have to go to the show particularly. So then why it is not displaying? React router down. We are ready to take the properties and save in one of the book. Okay, and as user passed a link, all the functionalities. Let us do one thing. Close this one. Service worker and this one package and even book.js. Create is working successfully and then even index close. And here you have saved successfully, but when you are giving a call to one particular thing, then here find by ID, find a single document, and it is returning. Let us see. From into the RES, the data of that particular record that you are assigning to the book property. Sorry, yes, book property. So from that, it has to fetch this dot state dot book dot title. Here it is not displaying. So if it is a problem in database saving, then even it should not display when you go back. It should not display here also. But it is not a problem in database saving. It is a problem here only, especially retrieving the records. Let us see once. Into this URL, this dot props matching that parameters of an ID, and then we are for time being, let us do one thing. Console dot log this dot state dot that book. Then go to console and request failed with status code 404. Already we are getting now. Add new book and we want to see the list of items. And when we click on it, the ID is also there. That ID we are passing and that is request failed. So why it is showing that error? Let us go to the file book.js. we have get, I mean, router dot get function request response, and it's requesting a params ID, and then you should have to just reset, I mean, post or whatever. It is not a problem. Then everything is correct only. Mm, okay, let us do one thing. Of course, when it is not opening that even a particular book, then let us go back. We are able to add, but we want to see, then only we can able to create error at 16. Let us just check it out here. Save book. In the book, we are taking all the request, I mean, all the input elements using request.body, and just insert. That is successfully done. Show that particular object ID. Okay. So to see that particular object ID, we have to get matching. Get find by ID. That is the only one we have. Find by ID, that request dot params dot an ID which we have passed, and that is checking with a given, nothing else different. I mean, no change here. We not fetching the data when we are able to get the data in the RES, and that is what we are extracting the data into the book property, and that is what we are showing.
Can you able to see the data in database for that command line?
That is displaying. One second. If you db dot collection name dot find, one second, show collections. Okay, it's created book. It's created its own. Then db dot books dot find dot pretty. It is the clear all the values it saved. Even ISBN, object ID, stream value, sorry, title, everything is there. Date also it's inserted. But we are, I mean, if it is not installed, sorry, if it is not created, even we are unable to see here also in the list of items. But we are able to see. The problem here is redirecting from home page to show page to see a particular, that is the URL is not accepting. Here the problem is Express.js problem, which is not fetching that URL, or it is not taking that URL to show when you click. Where is that? In the apps are here. When you click on show, let us see. Is there any problem here? Hmm. Fetching all the records, that is the same concept only we have done. But one record we want to fetch it out. Show dollar from the book. You are ex extracting that column ID. That's why you are able to see that one. And then when it is given a URL, let us write. Of course, we no longer require React DOM. We require link AXIOS, and then right in the given URL, we are expecting the total results. Let us do one thing, one more. Something. Then that is adding. So records are adding. When we click on it, localhost colon 3000, that ID, which is an object ID, 57AE66. When we click on it, it has to redirect to show. It is redirecting to the show, but unable to fetch the data of a particular. That means the problem is at only a particular show page only. There might be a small or change. This is a published underscore year right now. Let us check it out. Published underscore year. Let us do one thing. Let me recode once again this component concept. Before that, let me just check constructor, props, and super of we are expecting that state, and we have only one property. Sorry, we have only one requirement to fetch. So we have given opening closing curly braces. If it is multiple things, then we should expect something square bracket. That is correct only what we have done. Mm, Component did mount XIOS get API book. That is the reason. Mm, that is why it is not able to match. It is saying that book ID, that is BOOK, and this ID, where is that ID? There is no forward slash, that is the meaning. Okay, now let us do one thing. Of course, as we have done some changes in coding, we just have to, what you can say, rebuild. After rebuilding, only we can see that output again proper. I mean, the latest updates. Anyway, we have solved. Only thing is forward slash. There is no mistake. So just let us wait. Okay, and then npm space start. When you rebuild the application, will it be having the database values previously, which we have inserted, or is totally erased? It's not like that. It will be showing the previous records also. It won't erase. If it is erasing, I mean, we are not touching the concept of database to reset. We are just resetting the files, which is what we have updated in the code that should be rebuild. and get ready with the environment and production environment. Okay, so now then now let us click on it. We are able to see. So when you are clicking, but previously that show, sorry, you are finally fetching that book BOOK 5EA so on. But now you have given internally show in the book that particular ID. That is the ID. And then when you click on edit, it has to connect to the, it has to show, okay, something again went wrong here in the editing. That URL, something which we have when edit. So when you click on edit, where you have clicked on edit in show, here, edit, opening curly braces, closing curly braces. Anyway, of course, we have to do once again because it won't reflect directly. Directly without build also we can see, but as we have, I mean, in general functionalities, we can see we can execute npm space start directly. But here we have, let me do one thing. Let me take a backup, especially with this we not require, and rest of them. Then now, okay, let it be. Today we have it's something to resolve something errors we have done, some changes, and then once we are done almost, I think while we are typing too much of code, sometimes it will be happen now. And then npm space start. Showing, then clicking, showing the same output, or else, okay, let me do one thing. Oh, returning back again is problem. Book list. When I click on this one, spot action, these details it has to show in the edit book, but it is not. The URL is fetching now, but it is not loading the details into the edit book form. Let us, we have to check it out now. Why it is not editing and why it is not displaying the details into that one. So the thing first you have to get here a particular book, okay, and in the book.js, when you want to edit, that is updating, it is a point of that is after loading, but in the loading, I mean, as soon as you click on the
It is the same problem with the forward slash in edit also.
oh, is it, let us wait. Okay, okay, right, right. Here also correct. I think we have copied this one. Mm, okay, let us expect that now. Is there anything else? Here also, I guess. When you say here also, it means let us go with create. No. You are just here throwing to this point, and then here you are that is missed on submit and into this, right? Let us check it out. Is there anything else? So app dot put and API book, and we are putting this one. Sorry, finding with this ID, we are replacing all these values, and then successfully, and then returning to the particular page. That's it. Here forward. Okay, right then. And then so when we click on loading the details, when we click on edit that particular spot action details, yes, the description is not loading, but the input fields are reflecting with the given things. Of course, it should not be editable or okay, ISBN is not even. Let me write, for example, and spot action to Jordan to something to see whether it is updating or not. Yes, it is updated. And when we click on it, gone away. So now everything, but only the description field is, of course, is not a point of any what I can say logic or coding problem. The description field, the text area won't accept that loading the data. Anyway, let me just check it out. Where is that description field? Description field. It is not same like state.book.description, but it is not accepting to load. Not accepting means this input element, I'm sorry, text area is not having feature to load, or it's not accepting directly to load the dynamically the description or any value from the property. You can make it if it is you are changing to text area to input element, it will display again. Okay, so and of course it is just taking that latest value and updating now. Okay, let me do one thing. Edit something. I'm just updating only these things. Updated as it is saving data only when we retrieve or edit that input element, it start displaying. Okay, so with this we are done with the concept. Okay, let me tell you here, close all files, and what this build is having. Build is having defaultly a static folder again with style sheets, JavaScript, and if there is any images, that media files. Additionally, the index page, which is just written a basic functionality, which is that is giving an output dynamically using the exporting of JavaScript files. And all this manifest, what is this manifest? This is create, it is created automatically, and the images, everything, whereas a service worker with this a production and environment. Actually, we have a service worker which is a combination with all these things, and this service worker is just created dynamically with build, and that is connected to index.html. To index.html, we are getting the we are getting that output through exporting of JavaScript. When you are exporting the place of app module, sorry, app, and create all these things, based on this, it is creating a file of check.js. With this, it is showing that output. Okay, so this is what we can create the concept of combination of Node, Express, Mongo, and what you can say React. Okay, and let me tell you now. Let us work with the, and we can close the database, everything. Let me just now we are going to discuss the concept of life cycle hooks. I just bring something notes which is okay. Instead of writing, I have already written the statements right now, so I'm just going to pick up that one. Then what is the concept of life cycle hooks? Means is it is also one of the way, or we can say these are the built-in methods which supports to your application based on the actions done or performance done. So there are some built-in, what you can say, um, life cycle components, or sorry, you can say life cycle hooks. Component will mount, did mount. Okay, and here component will mount. It is used to execute, or it is executed before rendering. That is, it is ready to start its functionality before starting of your application, or before starting of your functionality, either on server or even at client, both sides. When you have something should start in the very beginning before your application code it starts, then you can just go to the will mount. How you can write, I will let you know all the functionalities how to write. I am just seeing the definitions as of now. And component did mount, this is already we have done, which is executed after the first render. Only on client side there is an ajax request, that is what we have requested in the, what you can say, mm, even in our application, which is made application, and even REST API we have created now, where we have given a request through Ajax and getting that updates into the existing property. That is taking that values from the requests and updating into the existing property. Whereas component will receive is invoked as soon as the properties are updated before another render is called. That is, if you have two renders and after completing of one and before it is going to update, if it is require something to update that properties before rendering the second functionality, then we can go with the will receive props and do some updation and ready with the updation values. Should component update means either it is saying true or false. If it is required, it will update, or is not required, it is not updating. Okay. So, and component will update. It is just given a call just before same like almost will mount itself. So here is component will update is called just before rendering, whereas before rendering is same like a executed before rendering. Did update called after rendering, after completing. And overall, whatever you have started, of course, we can say at the time of starting of your application, or we can say execution or rendering, the same way after completing unmounting, after the after the component is unmounted, then from the unmounted, unmounted from DOM. So here we just take some sample concept how we can implement this functionality. Okay, so here and class app which extends react dot component, and let us write render inside this, write a return and div. We want to create a concept here, a button. When you click on it, on click, and that equals to, you are going to give a call to method this dot set new number, and we just say here something that incrementing, and we want to see that output now. So for this I will give a call subcomponent content. My number is a property where content is a content is a component, a property that is expecting its value. from where, okay, let us think that you have created a property which is called a data. So then now come to the point, write a constructor of props. Then we are setting a state with a data property with 0 for time being. Data property with a 0. And you have given a call to this set number. In all the previous examples, somewhere else you have given directly this dot set number is given a call set new number, I mean method name equals to opening parenthesis. But we even, of course, in one of the example we have given this concept a counter. So I mean at testing I'm saying at testing we have done same concept. Same concept means writing set new number that has to be given a call saying that this dot set new number and that equals to this dot set new number dot bind. You have given a call, then you have to write its definition that should be incremented for each and every time. So write set new number method definition set state you are passing this dot state dot data with 1 for each and every time, right? Then okay, you have done, but where is the content component? So write a class content extends react dot component. Here we will write that component lifecycle methods, okay, and of course that it will take time approximately minimum 10 to more than 50 minutes, more I mean approximately 50 minutes even we have to see an output. That we'll discuss in next session, okay. And the final point we have is Redux concept. So once it is completing, then later we enter into the what you can say Angular JS concepts. Okay, then okay then thank you. I mean, if you have any questions or doubts, please let me know.
Do we have classes?
Tomorrow we don't have session.
Okay.
Tomorrow we don't. I mean, that is our next. That is my Monday session. That is already. Same time on Monday IST time. That is for your same at Sunday evening night. Okay. Right. Even I will inform to concerned team members that we will be having session on Monday directly again.
Okay.
Thank you and bye. Thank you.